Hello, y'all, and welcome back. So in the second discussion, you addressed the question, which of the two women is more morally praiseworthy, the woman who returns the bag full of money just because it's the right thing to do, on principle, or the woman who returns it because she loves helping people? Now, here is the way that this breaks down historically at a moral level. So Immanuel Kant, as you can imagine, says that Belinda, the woman who returns a bag solely on principle, is clearly and unambiguously more morally praiseworthy than Lisa. And his reasoning goes as follows. Belinda acts on principle. She acts on rule. Rule, principle doesn't change. Feelings change. Moods and emotions change. They go up and down in the course of an hour, in the course of a few minutes, certainly the course of a day, depending on the person, quite violently, right? But if you act on principle, you will always do the right thing. So Belinda acts on principle. Lisa acts on the way that she feels. She loves helping people. But if she had a different day, she might feel differently. Maybe on the way to work, she gets in a fender bender, and then she spills coffee on her favorite pants, and then maybe to top it all off, as she's going into the building, the person in front of her just drops the door on her, doesn't hold it at all. If she finds a bag full of cash at exactly that moment, she might feel like the universe owes her a little something. She might not feel so overjoyed about returning it. Of course, we don't know, but that's the point. We don't know. Kant says with Belinda, we know. She acts on principle. Principle doesn't change. Lisa is, as the kids might say, suspect. Now, no less a thinker than Aristotle completely disagrees. So Aristotle, recall Aristotle's 4 levels of virtue in the weakness of will module. At the top, the virtuous person what? Desires good and does good. So it's the feeling at the emotional level, the desire, that actually comes first, and then the morally good action. Aristotle says that is clearly preferable to someone who is conflicted morally, who feels some desire to do the wrong thing, albeit a desire that they overcome, and then does the right thing. We've been made, says Aristotle, by nature, with the capacity to do the right thing and have the right motives, but we've also been made with emotion. We've also been made with feeling. So if you do the right thing for the right motives, but you don't feel the right way, that is an incompletely virtuous person. That moral picture is somehow missing something. It's missing good, positive feeling towards, positive feeling vis-a-vis doing the right thing. So good to do the right thing for the right reasons if you don't feel like it, but better to also feel like it. That way your action, your motives, and your feeling are all rightly aligned in a virtuous way. So Lisa, says Aristotle, is clearly doing the right thing, and she feels the right way about it. With Belinda, we don't know. Again, that's we don't know. Maybe she does feel the right way, maybe she doesn't. We're not told in the thought experiment, okay? So even though she's consistently doing the right thing, she's incompletely virtuous. She would be less morally praiseworthy. So the point is, whichever side you take here, you have a major ethical heavy hitter on your side, either Aristotle or Kant. Now let's consider our 7th woman. Let's consider Peggy Sue. Now, Peggy Sue finds a bag, and a little bit of backstory on Peggy Sue. She is a single mom. She's working several jobs to make ends meet, so she's financially struggling a little bit. And she knows, as all of us know, that if you drop a Louis bag full of cash, you don't need that bag. Like, if you don't get it back, you'll be fine. And she is financially not fine. Moreover, she has a moral obligation to take care of her kids. And she still, in this situation, returns the bag because it is the right thing to do. So she, we know, really doesn't feel like it. Out of all inclination, feeling, and desire, she pushes past that, she overcomes that, and still does the right thing. And Kant would say, acting against inclination as she does, Peggy Sue is by far the most morally praiseworthy of these women, to the point where the other ones aren't even in consideration. Because Kant says, inasmuch as you do something against inclination, solely for principle, solely because your maxim is good, you are more morally praiseworthy. Kant in the groundwork makes an interesting remark about the best person morally in the world. And he says, you know who it is? Me neither. But I know this guy is out there, or woman, and he says it's someone that has lost all desire to live. The most morally praiseworthy person there out there. And it's somebody for whom life has lost all joy. Everything is bleak, dark, black, and pointless, and they just want to die. But they don't kill themselves. Why? Because Kant says, they know that they have a perfect, what he calls a perfect moral obligation to themselves. So he divides moral obligations into 4 kinds, perfect and imperfect, to the self and others. And the highest is the perfect moral obligation you have to yourself to preserve your own life. You are not given life. It is not yours to just throw away at your whim. And Kant says, in the teeth of all inclination and desire, they don't kill themselves. They keep on living because it's the right thing to do. Kant says, given that that's the highest moral obligation and the strongest inclination against it, that is the most morally praiseworthy person in the world. So again, this suspicion of feeling and this strict adherence to duty, rule, and principle, maxim as Kant calls it, is the heart and essence of modern deontology. In the next set of videos, the next module, we'll look at a third ethical theory, so join me for virtue ethics. Thanks.